a little history of tea, a drink that we have just about every day. So the history of tea. The history of tea is fascinating and offers great insight into the history of our world. Since tea was discovered in China, it has traveled the world, conquering the thirst of virtually every country on the planet. Tea is the most popular beverage in the world, as well as one of the healthiest. If you have ever wondered where tea comes from and how we get to the point where tea is served in virtually every corner of the world, steep a hot cup of tea and explore the history of the simple tea leaf over the centuries. One legend claims that the discovery of tea occurred in 2737 BC by the Emperor of China. For several hundred years, people drank tea because of its herbal medicinal qualities. At one point, tea plants were quite limited and only royalty and the rich drank tea, not only for their health but also for the taste. As more tea plants were discovered, tea drinking became more common among lower classes, and the Chinese government supported planting of tea plants and even the building of tea shops, so everyone, not just the rich, could enjoy tea. Later, tea spread to Japan by Japanese priests studying in China. Similar to the Chinese adoption of tea, tea was first consumed by priests and the rich for medicinal properties. The Emperor of Japan enjoyed tea very much and imported tea seeds from China to be planted in Japan, making tea available to more people. Tea finally arrived in England during the 17th century when King Charles II married a Portuguese princess, Catherine of Braganza. The Queen made tea the drink of royalty, and soon tea became a popular import to Britain. Afternoon tea, or tea parties, became a common way for aristocratic society to drink tea. Though tea was regularly imported to Britain, the taxes were so high that smugglers would sell tea illegally for those who could not afford it. Of course, this hurt the profits, so England then began exporting tea to America. England placed very high taxes on the tea being imported to America, and America protested with these high taxes by participating in what became known as the Boston Tea Party. The Boston Tea Party was not actually a party. It was a revolt against the high taxation placed on the tea arriving in America from England. One night, over 100 men boarded the 3 ships arriving in Boston from England carrying 92,000 pounds of tea. In today's money, that would have been $1,700,000 worth of tea. When the tea arrived at the port, the men boarded the ships and used axes to split open the crates and dump all the tea into the Boston harbor. All this to make a statement that Americans would not pay tea taxes and they would not allow the ships to return to England carrying the tea. This act eventually led to the American Revolution. So the next time you use or hear the phrase, "What does this have to do with the price of tea in China?" then you know a little history about the saying. Tea was discovered in China, and at one point it was a very expensive drink.
Tea more.